Most people think controlling your emotions means bottling them up. But Marcus Aurelius knew better. He ruled the greatest empire on earth during war, betrayal, and personal tragedy. Yet he remained calm, measured, unshakable. He didn't numb his feelings. He mastered them, like a sculptor carving discipline into marble. If you want to stop being controlled by every little irritation, if you want to build an inner fortress that no one can shake, this is the lesson the Roman emperors lived by. And by the end of this video, you will have the exact tools to build that same strength in yourself. But before we dive in, take 1 second to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. It costs nothing, but it connects you to timeless strategies that make you unbreakable. Let's begin. Lesson 1: See the emotion without becoming the emotion. The first skill Marcus trained was simple: awareness without attachment. When anger rises, most people become the anger. When fear appears, they become the fear. But a Stoic observes it first. He names it. He sees it arise like smoke. But he does not breathe it in. You are not your emotions. You are the watcher of them. That gap, that moment of pause, that is your power. Train yourself to say, I feel anger. Instead of, I am angry. Say, there is fear. Instead of, I am afraid. This shift alone changes everything, because now you have space, and in that space, you have control. Lesson 2: Accept that emotions are signals, not enemies. The Stoics never taught you to hate your emotions. They taught you to study them. Fear is a signal. It shows where you are still unprepared. Anger is a signal. It shows where your expectations are out of sync with reality. Sadness is a signal. It shows what matters most to you. You do not fight the signal. You understand it. Then you decide if action is needed or if stillness is better. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, but he did not rage. He wrote, "Is a man responsible for being ignorant?" Then he met ignorance with reason, not with fury. That kind of thinking turns chaos into clarity. And that is the foundation of calm. Lesson 3: Use your body to discipline the mind. Look closely at any Stoic philosopher. Not their words, their habits, their routines. You will find a theme repeating itself again and again. Control the body, and the mind will follow. The mistake most people make is trying to gain emotional control purely by thinking. They wait for the right mindset to appear. They wait to feel motivated, calm, ready. But the Stoics knew better. They did not wait for the mind to change. They moved the body first, and through that motion, the mind became disciplined. Marcus Aurelius woke up in the early cold hours of the morning. He did not roll over and seek comfort. He forced himself into motion. Why? Because he knew that every act of physical control, even the smallest, was training for the emotional storms that would surely come. You may not rule an empire, but you are fighting wars of your own. Anxiety, stress, anger, self-doubt. And you cannot think your way through them while lying in bed or numbing yourself with comfort. You must start where the Stoics started. In your body. Begin with posture. Hold your spine upright even when you are tired. Keep your face composed even when your thoughts feel chaotic. Control your breathing. Slow, deep, deliberate, especially when you want to panic or react. These are not small things. They are signals to your nervous system, to your mind, to everyone around you. Your posture says, I am in control. Your breath says, I am here and unshaken. Your stillness says, nothing outside me decides who I am. Next, introduce voluntary discomfort. Cold showers, hard workouts, early mornings, long walks without distraction. These are not punishments. They are quiet rituals that say, My mind does not run this body. I do. You will feel resistance. That is the point. Resistance is the gym for your emotions. You do not build mental strength by avoiding tension. You build it by moving through it slowly and without flinching. Think of your daily routine as a training ground, not a set of tasks, but a field of battle. Every time you show up on time, every time you finish what you started, every time you ignore the impulse to quit or complain, you are teaching your mind that it has a master, and that master is you. The modern world has disconnected people from their physical strength. They sit more, move less, breathe shallow, live in their heads, and wonder why their thoughts are always racing. The Stoic path pulls you back into your body, into presence, into grounded awareness. And here's the quiet truth. When your body is under control, when your movements are intentional, your emotions lose their grip. They stop throwing you around like a leaf in the wind, because your foundation is steady and your discipline is real. That is why the greatest Stoics were also warriors, not because they loved violence, but because they understood that movement sharpens character. So if you want to rule your emotions like a Roman emperor, start by ruling your body like a Stoic. A Roman emperor started his day early. Cold air, minimal comfort, no distractions. Why? Because the mind follows the body. You want to control your emotions, then put your body into discipline. Train when you do not feel like it. Sit upright when you want to slump. Breathe deep when panic starts to rise. Marcus Aurelius believed physical rigor was mental training. He said the art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, meaning you do not float through life. You brace, you grapple, you push through what tries to control you. Emotional control begins with how you move. Every time you practice stillness in discomfort, you build inner strength. Lesson 4: prepare your mind before the storm hits. The Stoics didn't wait for chaos to arrive before learning how to handle it. They trained for the storm before the clouds even formed, because they knew the mind cannot stay steady when it has never practiced stillness. They rehearsed hardship. They practiced loss. They imagined failure, not to become fearful, but to become unshakable. Marcus Aurelius sat with the thought of losing everything: his throne, his reputation, his life. And instead of resisting that thought, he embraced it. Why? Because what you prepare for mentally, you meet calmly in reality. The modern mind waits for disaster and then scrambles to fix itself. But the Stoic mind anticipates, not with anxiety, but with strength. It asks, what if the day goes wrong? What if the person I trust turns on me? What if I am tested? What will I do? That question, what will I do, is not about controlling the outside. It is about choosing the inside. Your response, your posture, your self-control. This is the power of premeditatio malorum, the Stoic habit of imagining adversity. Not to live in fear, but to build resilience ahead of time. You don't build calm when things are calm. You build it during cold mornings when no one is watching. You build it when you sit in silence and face the things you hope never happen. And then, you make peace with them. You decide who you would be. And that decision becomes your armor. Try it tomorrow morning. Before the world touches you, sit for 2 minutes and ask, what could challenge me today? What emotions might rise? How will I respond? Not how I hope I will, but how I will train myself to. Then rehearse that response in your mind, with calm, with clarity. Because if you've already walked the battlefield mentally, you won't freeze when the real one appears. This habit rewires you. You stop being reactive. You start becoming deliberate. And slowly, you remove the fear of what might happen, because in your mind, you've already survived it. This is why Roman emperors were calm under pressure, not because they were emotionless, but because they had already traveled every path in their mind and chosen self-mastery over panic. That kind of preparation is rare, and that's why it builds something rare. A man who carries silence into chaos. A man who breathes slower when others rush. A man who is ready, not just lucky. So prepare your mind, not once, but daily. And when the storm finally hits, you will not break. You will simply do what you trained for. Lead yourself. You don't control emotions in the middle of the storm. You train before it arrives. That's why Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined the worst, not to become afraid, but to build clarity. If I lose this, if they betray me, if I fail, and then they asked, what would I do? How would I respond? What is within my control? This mental rehearsal made them calm when reality tested them, because they had already visited that battlefield in their mind, and they had chosen courage over panic. Train like this. Start your day with 2 minutes of preparation. Ask yourself, what will test me today? How will I respond? Then carry that clarity into the day. That is how Roman emperors ruled not just land, but themselves. Lesson 5. Do not let emotions become identity. The modern world loves labels. Anxious, angry, depressed, triggered. But the Stoic rejects identity built on emotion. Marcus did not say, I am sad. He wrote, today I feel sorrow, but my reason remains. I will do my duty regardless. That is the difference. You feel it, but you are not it. You have emotion, but it does not have you. Every time you act with reason in the presence of chaos, you break the chain that binds you to weakness. You train yourself to be fireproof, not because fire is gone, but because it no longer consumes you. Do not become what you feel. Rise above it. Look down at it. Guide it like a master, not follow it like a slave. That is how emperors led. That is how you lead your own life. Conclusion and call to action. You are not soft for feeling, but you are made soft if you obey every emotion without challenge. Control is not suppression. It is direction. It is recognition. And it is strength without performance. You do not need to be cold to be calm. You do not need to be numb to be clear. You simply need to remember what Marcus Aurelius remembered every day. You are a man, and a man's job is to lead himself first. Then the world follows. If this gave you strength, if it sharpened your focus, take a second, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you stay connected to this mental armor we build every week. You are not here to be tossed by the winds of emotion. You are here to stand still, like a mountain, like an emperor, like a stoic. Stay sharp, stay calm, stay grounded,